have you lived in SF your whole life? To answer that, yes, I have. I was born and raised here in San Francisco. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a great week so far. I am super excited for today's video. We are going to be doing a Q&A video so you guys can get a chance to know me a little bit better. But before we do get started, make sure you are subscribed down below. And now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. Oh my god, I just realized I have freaking makeup on my hands. Ladies, do you guys do that when you are doing your makeup? You put it on the back of your hand and then you totally forget and then you leave the house with this like this? That happens to me all the time. If you guys do see me looking down, I do have my notebook here, so I am reading your questions off of my notebook. So if you do notice a sound in the background, that is my heater in my room. So it's getting really cold here, so I do have that running. So if you're wondering what that noise is, it's the heater. Before we do get started, I did want to point out I did get a lot of cannabis questions as well. I am going to be doing a second video for that just because there were quite a few questions in regards to that. And I want to make a separate video specifically just for my cannabis users. So if you don't see me going over those questions, that's why. But just keep an eye out for that cannabis Q&A video that I will also be putting out shortly. So getting into all your questions, thank you everyone who did submit a question. I really enjoyed reading through them and going through them and saying all of them. So thank you so much if you did send one through. I really appreciated it. So we're gonna start with the first question, name and age. So my name is Lupita, which a lot of times is short for Guadalupe. So my actual real name is Guadalupe, but if you are in the Latin community, you know that Guadalupe, you can shorten that to Lupita, and you can even shorten that a little bit more to Lupe. So I normally like to go by Lupita or Lupe. So I am 27 years old. I almost had to do a double take when I was saying that out loud, because I just turned 27 last year in Halloween. So I am a Halloween baby, and it's almost surreal to know that I'm creeping into my 30s, but I'm also very excited about that. Okay, going in with the second question, have you lived in SF your whole life? To answer that, yes, I have. I was born and raised here in San Francisco. I did move a little bit within the Bay Area, like to Richmond, San Mateo, Daly City, but for the most part, born and raised in San Francisco. I went to school in San Francisco, so I know the Bay Area very well. All of my friends and family are here in San Francisco or around the city, so everyone is really close to me, which is awesome. And I love living in San Francisco. I love the city. I've always have. But yes, I have lived in San Francisco my whole life. Okay, number 3 is, what is your favorite animal? So if I was to be saying domesticated animals, I'm gonna go with a dog. I love dogs. My whole life I actually wanted to be a veterinarian, but I realized I couldn't control my emotions when it came to dogs and seeing them injured. The closest I went was to work in a vet hospital, as a front desk, and even just that, it was so sad sometimes to see the animals and to be with the owners. But I love dogs. I always have loved dogs. I have such a big passion for dogs. Dogs are the only thing, animals in general are the only thing that can make me instantly cry. I have a dog myself. I have a 9-year-old pit bull. His name is Mika. You've probably seen him in the videos before if you've watched my other videos. The next question is number 4. It kind of ties into the last question, which was, have I lived in San Francisco my whole life? So the next one, number 4, is gonna be, was it hard finding a house in San Francisco? So the people who know me know that I do rent a home in San Francisco. It was not hard, but I also got really lucky because with my old job, there was someone there that knew someone that was looking for renters for a home. And through that connection, I was able to meet the guy who owned the home. Kind of just fell together. He was looking for someone, I was looking somewhere to live. And it just worked out perfectly, and I was super happy because I had to move out of SF for about 2 years. I lived in Hayward, so I was really happy to be back in the city and be back close to friends and family. Also, if you do notice the difference in my background, I am trying something new with some lights. So let me know if you like them. If you don't like them, the feedback would be great. I think they're dope. Little backstage lights here. But yeah, your girl's trying different things. Don't mind me. On to the next question, number 5. Are you in a relationship and do you want kids? Yes, I am in a relationship, and yes, I do want kids. Just not now. I don't want them now, and that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, moving on to number 6 is what's your go-to makeup product? So this one's a little hard because I feel like I have a couple like holy grail products that I have always reached for throughout the years. Let me actually pull some of them for you. Ooh, sorry. So, funny thing about me is I used to work at the makeup counter at Macy's. If you know San Francisco, you know the downtown area has huge Macy's building, one specifically for women, one for men, and those are the flagship stores, meaning those are like the biggest Macy's stores. So I used to work at the makeup counter for Estee Lauder for about a year and a half. And I really came to know a bunch of makeup, not just Estee Lauder, but we would also go to a bunch of other counters like Urban Decay, Smashbox, all of those brands, and we would just kind of switch off on the counters. So I got to learn a lot about makeup, but Estee Lauder was my main counter that I was mostly in. And if you know the brand Estee Lauder, they were specifically back in the day, this was like 2012, 2014, around there is when I was working there. And if you know Estee Lauder, that brand, especially back in the day, was more targeted for older women. But now they, of course, are like targeting all ages, younger women especially. But they have a product that they've kept throughout the years, their foundation, which is their Double Wear Stay in Place. This is what it looks like. So, and this foundation I already loved when I was working when I was younger and I was working on their counter. I already loved this foundation because I had gotten a sample of it and I tried it, and the shade ranges that they had blew me away. They had like so many ranges and shade, which by the way, back in the day wasn't that common. There was, I feel like, way less shade ranges back in the day than there is now. But this Double Wear foundation right here is amazing. Okay, this foundation hasn't changed throughout the years. It's still amazing. It stays in place. It looks beautiful. I'm actually wearing it right now, so this is what it looks like, you guys. And I didn't buy this when I was at the counter. I just remember really loving it, but it was expensive for me back in the day, so I didn't reach for it. I was more of a Target drugstore kind of girl. This was more high end for me. But now that I am older, I reach for this all the time. I tend to mix it a little bit. I have 2 different shade ranges, and I'll go mixing these two. This is, if you're wondering, the lighter shade is 1W2 Sand. And then the darker range is 3N1. I had originally got the 3N1 thinking this was my shade. It was not, but I ended up keeping it and getting a lighter shade, which matches me a little bit better. And then I'll just mix the two depending if I'm tanner in the summer or if I'm lighter in the winter. So I like having 2 shades of the same foundation, just so that way you can really get the precise shade that you want. So I would say that's my go-to product right now. I keep wondering what this is, like when I see it in the camera, and it's my eyeliner. I need to clean that. Okay, so the next question is, what's your New Year's resolution? So I did go into this in my last video and what I took away from 2021. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to go ahead and link it down below or somewhere on the screen here for you to see. But I do go into that in that video, so I highly recommend you check that out. It's one of my favorite videos that I've made so far, and you really get to know me a little bit more personally as well. So I'll link that somewhere. Next question is, what's your favorite SF spot? So growing up, we did a lot of adventuring. We didn't have a car, so we would use a lot of transportation. San Francisco is great for their transportation. You honestly don't need a car unless you have like a parking spot, which is what I normally recommend people do, is don't get a car unless you have a parking spot, because parking is horrible. But saying that, we did go and travel and see the city a bunch. There wasn't really much to do back in the day besides doing that, so we would just walk. We would catch the Mooney places. And one of my favorite places growing up, what we called it, was Mission Hill. I'm pretty sure it has a different name, like an actual name for it, but growing up in the city as a kid, we personally called it Mission Hill. And this place is about around Mission and 30th and Mission. It's around there to like getting up there, and I'm gonna say that as like a checkpoint. It's not there, but it's around Mission and 30th. Okay, if you know what Mission Hill, and I'm not talking about Mission Peaks, Mission Hill, if you know what I'm talking about, you're probably from the city. If you don't, I'm not going to tell you specifics just because I don't want people to flood there. But I would go there. It's basically, you get a great view of the city. The city's sky view is really gorgeous. Okay, going on to the next question is, what is my favorite color? I've had the same favorite color since I was a kid, which is red. Red has always been my favorite color. I'm wearing it right now, and one of the background colors is red. I also had red hair before, so I really love the color red, always have. And yeah, that's my favorite color. Another question that someone asked is, what is your horoscope sign? And I am a Scorpio. I am born on October, I almost said December. I was born on October 31st, 1994, and I am a Scorpio. So I am a Scorpio, you guys. Sometimes when I say that to people, they're like, "Ooh, you're a Scorpio?" And I'm like, yes, I am. Halloween, baby. Can't beat that. So I'm totally lost on what number we're on. So we're just not even going to do the numbers anymore. So the next one, another person asked, is, where do you want to visit next? I want to visit Italy or Spain next. I really want to go out of the country. I love traveling, and I think when you have money, it's way better to buy an experience than to buy a materialistic thing. For me especially, like, I just feel like my money is well spent when it's going somewhere and experiencing something, because I feel like that just opens your eyes to different worlds and how different things can be in other places. So I personally really love traveling. But yeah, I would love to go to Barcelona or Madrid or anywhere in Italy. I think Italy is beautiful. Like, I can totally imagine myself learning how to make pasta in Italy and just walking around. I just find Italy very romantic, as well as Spain. They're both very romantic. And yeah, those are the places that I want to visit. Okay, so the next question is actually a really good question. I had to think about it a little bit. Someone asked me, what is my pet peeve? And I don't feel like I have any or many pet peeves, but something that really bothers me is when I'm trying to spend quality time with a friend, or even just with my partner. I hate it when you're having a conversation with someone and you're looking them in the eye and all they're doing is being on their phone. It super irritates me. It just almost don't even want to talk to that person at that point, because you're not giving me your attention. You know, when I have a conversation with someone, I make sure I do eye-to-eye contact. I make sure I'm listening. And I kind of expect that to be with the other person that I'm speaking with. So if you're just on your phone all the time, or like if you're constantly checking it, it just feels like I'm boring you is what it kind of feels like. And you have your mind occupied with something else. So normally when I'm with friends or even my partner, I will say, hey, can you put your phone down or stop looking at your phone? Because nowadays I feel like so many people are tied to constantly looking at their phone, and it's not a normal thing, you know, like we're losing that part of us where we're able to communicate and look people in the eyes and just give them that quality time. And I feel like not a lot of people do that. Everyone is just so quick to grab their phone, check it, refresh their Instagram. I make sure that I'm not on my phone when I'm watching TV or when I'm with someone. And I'm purposely like trying to spend time with them. If we're around each other and we're both doing our own thing, like if someone is like on their laptop working and editing and I'm on my phone working and editing, then that's totally different. But if we're just having a one-on-one conversation, please do not look at your phone. Like, actually look at the person you're talking to, give them your attention. I feel like those are things that should be a given, but so many people nowadays have lost that because of technology. So that is probably my biggest pet peeve, because that's something that really irks me, and I'm just like. And then the last question for this video is, how long have you had your hair purple? So I've had my hair purple since September. I haven't put any more purple into it. I did deposit a little bit of red, which was just like it was like a conditioner that just like deposits color back, but it washed out after a couple weeks, and then it just went back to the purple. The purple has really grown on me. I did not know how I was gonna like the purple, but it has grown on me and I really, really like it. I'm actually gonna deposit more purple back into my hair because it's actually getting almost like pinky somewhere in some places. Like you can kind of see here, like it's washing out a little bit, but I'm very impressed for me not putting any more purple into this for months and it's still having this vibrant color. I'm very impressed. And these are also my natural curls. Someone else had asked that, like, are these your natural curls? Yes, they are. I have been working on my natural hair for a couple months now, and I've seen such a difference. Like, I did not know I had curly hair, and I did not know I could pull out purple. So the fact that both of these things are happening is a beautiful thing. My hair has come a long way, and so have I. And I'm so proud of both of us. But look at those curls. And look at that color. I really have come to love purple, so I decided to keep it for a little longer, and I'm going to be depositing some more color back. So super excited for that. Well, that is pretty much it, you guys. As I said, I will be doing a second video of a Q&A for my cannabis friendly users out there, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I had so much fun answering all your questions and looking through all your questions, so thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great day. Stay awesome. Stay blessed, you guys. Peace.